much for being back. And if you just joined us, you're still on to Enterprise in the Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's get to our conversation for today. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has mocked the opposition, People's Democratic Party and the Labour Party, saying it was a pleasure to see them in disarray. Speaking during a joint session of the National Assembly on Democracy Day, Tinubu welcomed defectors from the opposition into the All Progressive Congress APC. Jabbing at the instability within rival parties, "You are welcome to the progressive fold," Tinubu said, adding sarcastically that he would not help the opposition fix their problem. Instead, he suggested that troubled parties should reflect on their internal issues rather than panicking over defections. His remarks come amid growing internal strife on both the PDP and the Labour Party, with several members reportedly considering a shift to the APC. The president's comment drew applause from APC lawmakers, while opposition members appeared unsettled. Though Tinubu has previously spoken about the value of a strong opposition in a democracy, his latest remarks show little concern for their struggles with party unity. Let's get talking. I still have Emeka Madunago. Thank you so very much, Emeka, for hanging on.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so of course, it looks very interesting to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his team for the condescending words to the opposition. But the truth remains, Emeka, you will agree with me that nothing lasts forever. There was a time in Nigeria when the PDP was in this position. They never knew, of course, that things would turn around. Why do you think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has this gusto of making fun of a failing party?
Well, thank you very much. It's very sad on Democracy Day that the things Tinubu had to say. It only shows that he's just a civilian ruler. He's not a Democrat. But no Democrat will be happy that other political parties are in a crisis. No. No. Look at the UK. I'll give you an example. Look at the Reform Party. How they removed the Conservatives, from many seats in council elections. That is how to prove your mettle. Because, of course, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in 2022 election, Mr. Peter Obi, has said that is the government that is behind the crisis. And it's true. The Minister of State, the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, is the agent provocateur for the crisis in the People's Democratic Party. He has refused to leave the party, even though Tinubu has said he's welcome to APC. But he has refused to leave the party because his mission is to destroy PDP. Now tell me what he intends to get. It was PDP that made him a governor. It was through PDP he became a Minister of State. It was through PDP that he became Minister of FCT. And you want to destroy the ladder through which you climb. You see nobody. If you sell your brother, your buyer, even your buyer will not trust you. And that is it. There are no prizes, no plaudits for betrayal. What Wike is doing is just a pity. Well, one thing he doesn't know is that, kingdoms rise, kingdoms fall. Tinubu will only be there for a period. But how will it be said of him? What legacy does he think he's going to leave for the future? He's in the Labour Party. Julius Abure knows his time has passed. But he's just there hanging in. One other fellow, one impostor, came out and said he was the national chairman. But eventually he crossed over to the APC. When he couldn't, you see, because politics takes a lot of money. So maybe the show he was putting up in Labour Party, he wasn't getting any funding. So he just decided, let me just go and join them. Then there's the other fellow, who has been parading himself as the acting chairman. But clearly, the Supreme Court said the parties have the power to decide on their leadership. And now, the Labour Party, by concurrence of opinion, had actually declared Abure's tenure over. But Abure went and organized a national convention in Nnewi, Anambra State, and claimed that by that convention he returned to power. No. According to the electoral law, there must be a process. You have to start with ward congresses, local government congresses, state congresses, and then a national convention where you choose the national leadership. Abure should tell us how he has been able to achieve that. And so that is what you see. Up till now, INEC, when did the Supreme Court deliver a judgment? INEC says it's still studying the judgment. And now there's an election coming up in Anambra State. The Labour Party submitted candidates. Abure submitted the name of candidate. PDP, through Anyanwu, who is claiming is the national secretary, he submitted the name of candidate. But people are already warning that, look, by the time this election is done and positions as usual, they go to the Supreme Court, they go to the tribunal and others, that at the end of, between now and the election in November, what if there is a change of situation? INEC comes out to say it doesn't recognize Anyanwu. That actually the Southeast that was zoned national chairmanship, they had already come out to say they support Ude Okoye. So that Anyanwu, we don't support, we don't know you. And then the governorship candidates of PDP in Anambra State, what will happen? Is the one for what will happen?
So if the court does not approve for the secretary, it means that whoever
no, not just the court. I mean, if INEC says that the secretary they know
so it means
Ude Okoye.
So it means that the candidate of the party is
gone.
Is gone.
It's gone. That is it. You gambled with your rights. Because you saw Wike with 3 governors the other day saying that this should be done, that the party's presidential ticket should be given to the South, so that it can be traded to Tinubu. That is it now.
So, but don't you think these are some of the reasons why, for example, Pastor Omoyeno had stated that the reason he is decamping to the APC was because he's not sure who the secretary of the PDP is, so he wouldn't want to play with his political future.
Omoyeno is just playing. He's just playing a movie.
A movie?
That is it.
What
Yes.
movie exactly?
His godfather, Udom Emmanuel, is in EFCC trouble.
But Udom Emmanuel is not even stating anything.
Yeah, because he doesn't care. He can't bring himself to be under Akpabio, even though Akpabio is his godfather. But they've fallen out. He can't bring himself to stay under Akpabio. That's why you saw in the Memo Bong, he was the commissioner for special duties and Akwa Ibom DC Port. That's why he resigned. I said, how can we, having fallen out with Akpabio on principle, now go back to Akpabio? That things are not done like that. But Omoyeno is just being desperate.
So, but do you think there could be a falling out of Omoyeno and Udom Emmanuel, who has brought him? Just like Udom Emmanuel is having an issue with Akpabio.
They've already fallen out. Now.
Really?
Udom Emmanuel has said he's not joining him to the APC.
To the to
APC. He will not
Udom
join.
Emmanuel is not joining.
Yes, he will not join him. Of course, you know that in Delta, Ifeanyi Okowa, the former governor, has a case, 1.3 trillion with EFCC. Oborewori was the speaker who granted approvals for certain loans that were taken by the state. So both of them are in the same boat. So they have to negotiate, how they have to negotiate their exit plan. Well, it's not the same thing with Udom Emmanuel. Udom Emmanuel has his own case. So of course I told Omoyeno, no, pursue your own negotiation. I have no business with what you're doing.
So if Pastor Omoyeno, of course he is not in any way affected by the decision of Udom Emmanuel, then why would he reluctantly go to the APC when he knows he has nothing to be worried about? He did say just yesterday, adamant, he said that he is pursuing elephants, that no dog can distract him.
That is what they're telling him. Keep talking, keep talking. Did you see how he was insulting, how he was trading words with Kenneth Okonkwo? I mean, calling him.
Who called him that he's a political transgender?
And then he now said some other nasty things about Kenneth Okonkwo. That tells you a man who is desperate. He's ready to throw stones even in the dark. And nothing. If he just sees, it looks like a shadow or something, he's ready to fire stones at that shadow. He's a man who is afraid of his own shadow. Because all the talking he has been doing, it's not necessary. If you are confident, fully confident of your move, you shouldn't be talking now. But he keeps talking because, didn't you see the photograph of where he was kneeling, where he knelt down before Udom Emmanuel?
Well, he virtually kneels down to everybody.
Every single person. So what do you expect such a man is ready to just to, so that, they will allow him to concentrate, on the governorship. What is he even doing?
Exactly.
What remarkable things has he done?
For the past 2 years, we can't account to things.
What remarkable things
has he has renovated public primary schools, which, like we did say in our newspapers, that's meant for local governments.
That's the local government.
But he keeps renovating primary schools and saying that's an achievement for him. It's so very unfortunate that he might go down in the history of Akwa Ibom as the weakest,
the worst governor
already
of Akwa Ibom, the worst governor of Akwa Ibom State. What is the Human Development Index of Akwa Ibom State? Go and check. What remarkable thing has he done? You are talking about a deep sea port when the living standards of the people are poor, when you've not empowered the people, you've not done anything to make money circulate in Akwa Ibom. That is your primary responsibility.
Very true.
I'm not saying you should. Look, even if you put money in the hands of people, there's nothing wrong with it. Because that's why they are people of the state. They are citizens of the state. If you do it maybe through the accounts, if you do it through programs and policies that make sure that, the standard of living is higher, that the purchasing power, you see, that is the key thing. The removal of subsidy and freedom of naira severely depleted the purchasing power. Now, the problem of many governors is that they don't know how can we raise the purchasing power of the people. They're at sea. All these things are not difficult. Akwa Ibom had how many industries that generated employment? Why are they dead? Champion Breweries, why is he dead? Why can't he resuscitate Champion Breweries? At least, and then get a foreign investor or partner to work with the state government and get people employed. Thousands of people that he could get employed. Thousands of Akwa Ibom indigenes that he could get employed. What about the other state enterprises that are dead? What has happened? What has happened to them? So you see, these governors, they're just there, just move about in convoys with so much noise. There is nothing. He was talking of coming to build towers.
Towers in Lagos. That would benefit the people of Lagos and employ Lagosians.
These people are an embarrassment. They're a disgrace. They can't come up with ideas. And the ideas are there. It's not rocket science. The ideas are there. How to empower the people is not difficult. Jakonde showed an example. Alhaji Lateef Jakonde, Baba Kekere showed an example. He's telling an example in Lagos. What did he do? He opened up new areas where people could go and live and, take advantage of the opportunities. He opened up Ikorodu Road. He opened up Lekki Ekpe Expressway. He built houses.
Low-cost houses.
He just made sure that economic activities were taking place. And do you know what? In building those low-cost houses, Lagosians were employed. In building those roads, people were employed. In doing all the things he did, people were employed. And do you know what? According to the former managing director of Guardian, Mr. Lade Bonola, he wrote a long article, and nobody has, nobody has contradicted him. That Jakonde took Lagos State money and invested in different companies that were operating in Lagos so that they will employ Lagosians. Tell me what is more than that. All you need to do is set up an investment company. I say, okay, fine, Akwa Ibom investment. Okay, we are going to look for people, who run these businesses, that are moribund, who will revive them. And then those already operating, in Akwa Ibom, here and there. And get through the investment, through the special purpose vehicle, the investment company. You will now invest. You can invest 20, you can get 20% and all of that here and there. And then you can also take the shares of like Champion Breweries, take it to the stock market, take it to the capital market. People from your state will buy shares. People from different states will buy shares. Even from abroad. If you do your listing well, Dangote now is going to the capital market for commercial paper. He wants to raise 100 billion naira. And the commercial paper is in three tranches. These are the things people are looking for. They're looking for opportunities. Dangote, wow, I'm going to put money there. 100 billion. Commercial paper. Very lucrative. If you put down commercial paper for business, people will invest. But people are not going to invest in just one scheme. They want to raise money to clear the gutters in Akwa Ibom State. Who is going to do that?
So does that mean that what we have currently in Nigeria are pockets of lazy, very lazy
power grabbers? Lazy power grabbers. Look at the governor of Delta State. There's this security in Delta State and is pretending about it. An activist, Harrison Gomishu, has been going around doing a one-man battle against kidnappers, which led to the killing of some suspected kidnappers by the police in Abraka some time ago. But yeah, those kidnappers still went to some other places and kidnapped people, killed people. And I understand that people in the employ of the state government were warned not to say anything about insecurity or else they will be sacked.
Really?
You don't want to do anything about it.
So could that be as a result of their gravitation towards the APC? These
people are lazy. These people are lazy. Let me tell you something. Ogbonnayonu, the late Dr. Ogbonnayonu was in APP, All People's Party, from inception in 1998. He remained till when he became AMPP, I think 2002. He remained until the party now merged with a part of ABGA, with the ACN, and became APC. He was a principled politician. It's such people we need, not people who are desperate for power, who are desperate for office. Ogbonnayonu, with everything, all his principled policies, he was made Minister of Science and Technology. After how many years? So somebody was governor of Abia State. But he remained principled. That is what we're talking about. Principled people as principled politicians. That's what we're talking about. So when Tinubu is saying crisis in the Labour Party, look, there is no political association anywhere in the world, no political party anywhere in the world that doesn't have crisis. One way or the other. There's none.
Because even the Democrats right now in America, they are very so divided.
Even the Republicans all of them behind President Donald Trump. All of them who are those in the Reform Party in the UK? Or are they not members of other parties? It will always happen. I learned that late President Omar Musa Yar'Adua, that he told INEC, he said, look, something must be done about other parties. So let's not allow the prospect of crisis in other parties, because it will not do our democracy good. But here you are gloating because you are not a Democrat. You're a pretender. You are not a Democrat. And that is the sad thing. That is why they are alienated from the people. That was why Buhari for 8 good years wasted so much money, ran Nigeria into affordable recessions, 2 recessions back to back. Look at COVID-19. COVID-19 paid oil producing countries in the world. Did he pay Nigeria? No way. Buhari wasted so much money, wasted so much time, wasted so many opportunities. Because he had no idea about how to govern. So he was holed up in Aso Rock, flossing his teeth, just be using toothpick. What nonsense.
And unfortunately, Tinubu has taken over.
That is it. The same people who were telling Nigeria, please be patient with Buhari for 8 years, came back and said that Tinubu inherited a decayed economy. And I told them the hellfire that God will put them into it will burn with fire and brimstone.
But
it will burn with fire and brimstone. Those of them who are saying those things, the hellfire they will go to it will burn with fire and brimstone. Because this is wickedness. Wickedness. You were the ones praising Buhari. Buhari is doing well. Buhari means well. Buhari is doing this. You now came back to tell Nigerians that that Tinubu inherited the damage. You were the damagers of the economy. Look at many of them who are ministers and all that. They think we're forgotten. The hellfire that we burn them. It is still, look, the fire and brimstone is still cooking.
All right, so while we hope that the fire and every other thing that comes with it would do its work metaphorically, let's take a look at...
Not metaphorically. God, you see, the judgment of God is not metaphorical. The judgment of God is clear. Let me tell you, those in the past who looted this nation, where are they? Look at Abacha's wife. Abacha, who looted this nation dry. Under Abacha, Nigeria's inflation rose to 76%.
She was actually looking very frail.
Looking frail. Oh, she's looking frail. Abi, Nigerians, you know how many Nigerians have died? How many Nigerians died You have forgotten that we had people were using sawdust to
Yes,
cook.
very true, yes.
Under Abacha.
There was strong
Was that not suffering?
At that point.
Was that not suffering?
Yeah.
People couldn't afford gas.
Trees were being cut down.
People couldn't afford firewood to buy. People were going to sawmills.
Yes.
When you go to sawmill, you see sawdust on the ground. You even step on it.
Yes.
People were going to sawmills to buy waste to cook. That was how bad it was. And then this woman thinks we are forgotten. No way. The judgment of God is going to catch all these people. You are coming to tell us that Abacha was saving money. How do you save? Can you take company money and go and save in your private account? You go to jail. Will you take your company's money and say, no, okay, I saved it in this bank, I saved it in your personal account? You will go to jail. You say Abacha was saving money in Jersey, in different countries, in personal accounts, and you say he was saving it for Nigeria. How? Who gave him that power? You're supposed to save money in the central bank. Then the central bank will now move the money to the foreign reserves. And then use the foreign reserves to back the economy so that, things can flow easily for Nigerians. The country has so many resources. And I've said it, I'm a farmer. I've said it very clearly that we must take agriculture more seriously. All these things we're doing in petroleum, selling minerals and all, we're just destroying the earth. We're just destroying the environment. But agriculture revitalizes the environment. And that's where the difference is.
But Emeka, why is it that the leaders of now fail to look at history? Because when I watched the interview of Mariam Abacha, a woman that was so immaculate, and right now she is a sad part of herself, very so frail, and one would have never imagined that this is one of the most influential women in Nigeria, looking very frail and all that. I know age is part of it, but of course, lots of other things that come with it. Why is it that the leaders of the now find it difficult to look at what had happened to people that were there before them and maybe take heed not to fall into the same thing, especially with reference to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has been part of this struggle, but rather than make it better, he is further exacerbating the problem.
What age? What is the age? Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the Director General of the World Trade Organization, is it not 71 today? Look at her. I think she'll be older than Mariam Abacha. Look at her, or maybe within the same age. Look at her. She's not looking young, looking vibrant. There are many women in their 70s still looking vibrant. Let me tell you, my brother, when you have a pedigree of service without dipping your hands in the treasury, in old age you will look well. Go and look at people like Dr. Christopher Kolade. Men distinguished in public service, Dr. Chief Emeka Anyoko, men of honor who didn't have to loot and steal and not. Look at them. In their 80s, some of them in their 80s, they move around without any walking stick or anything. God will always bless people who fear him, people who serve the people who don't steal from the people. God will bless you. In old age, you will live well. You live well. Look at Tinubu mocking the parties. Is it to your credit? You say they are jumping from sinking ship. And you are celebrating that. You are celebrating that. You have forgotten. What did Amechi say the other day, the former governor of Rivers State? What did he say? He said if the current INEC chairman, Mahmoud Yakubu, were the chairman in 2013 when they registered APC, APC wouldn't have been registered. So what are we talking about? Your party, if you had Mahmoud Yakubu, who is taking so much time to study the judgment of the Supreme Court on PDP and Labour Party, what would he have done to APC? Do you know when APC was being formed in April 2013? Do you know there were 3 versions of APC? 3 different versions of APC came up. But eventually, somehow, they got APC registered. So what are we talking about? Make the country better. Fix the country. You don't need to run away from the people. Go and hide in the National Assembly and be saying all kinds of things. We expected you to have come to Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja to address the people. Well, go and look at the stadium. Moshood Abiola. Look at. Abandoned.
Abandoned. Yeah.
Derelict. Can he go there? There's the old parade ground. Can he go there? Eagle Square, can he go there?
Well, I truly do hope that he won't ask Yeson Wike to further renovate the Moshood Abiola Stadium and
No, let them keep deceiving themselves.
Rename it after he gets again.
No, even the cemeteries in Abuja. Let them renovate them and name them after him. All the mortuaries and everything, gutters. Don't worry. Let me see. Let me tell you something. What goes around comes around. After they've done all of these things, what will happen? These things will be scrapped. Because, you see, one of the problems we have as Africans is that we don't have a sense of history. There are people, there are names in some states that by now should have been scrapped. Look at Douglas Road. You still have Douglas Road in Owerri. This was a man, a colonial officer, who brutalized the people of Owerri. Somebody whose name you should have struck off immediately. In fact, struck it off, wiped it off. You are still bearing Douglas Road. You don't have a sense of history. Or is it Port Harcourt? Lord Harcourt. Go and read about his history now. Go and read about his history. But we don't care because so long as, no, don't worry, let's be managing it like that. That's why we deceive ourselves. We deceive ourselves. Something is not working, it's not convenient for us, but let's just try and manage it. Who are we deceiving? The Labour Party, the crisis in the Labour Party is coming to an end. And let me tell you, the PDP, somehow the crisis will come to an end. PDP was almost wiped out now after the 2015 elections. Have you forgotten? Yeah. When Ali Modu Sheriff was jumping up and down, pretending to be the chairman of the party, national chairman of the party. But at the end of the day, the Supreme Court told him, no, that you have no locus to stand as the national chairman of the party. And he was removed. In place of, and then he was replaced by Mohamed McCarthy, former governor of Kaduna State. So the PDP will reinvent itself. If these things happen, the PDP will reinvent itself. These things happen. The Labour Party is going to go stronger. There are 18 political parties. You have applications, almost 100 applications. You know, so many applications of people wanting to form political parties. Why? Because the ruling government has infiltrated the parties to make sure that they don't function properly. Make sure they don't function properly. So that Tinubu can have a free road. Why was he talking about one party state? Or your media aide came out to tell the world that was your plan. You are denying it. You are denying it because there has been a vigorous pushback from Nigerians. We fought against military rule, military dictatorship. Now we have civilian dictatorship. We say no. We say no. We insist on democracy. We don't want any dictatorship, whether civilian or military. I've heard Nigerians saying, let's have somebody like Traore of Burkina Faso and all that. And I tell them that is nonsense. We fought against those. We told the military to go and let the military remain in the barracks. We don't want them in power. We want democratic rule, multi-party system, so that people can have a right to ventilate their ideas about national development through different political parties. And that is what we want.
Very, very true. That's what Nigerians want. I am one of those that truly do believe that God is a Nigerian with a green passport. And you know what? That is the reason no one man can claim to own this country. No one man can claim to be the deciding factor of what happens and how it would happen. Nigeria is still together because there's a reason for it, and therefore no one man would come to bring an upset to all of that. And I think the only way we can get it better is through a democratic setup, true, genuine one, so we can all have a great nation. Thank you so very much, Emeka, for being here. All right, that's just about the time we have. A lot to say thank you to you once more for being part of it. I truly do believe that you enjoyed our show and our discussion today. We've been well for this country, and it is our responsibility as those in the media to bring to the feet, or bring the feet of those in power to the fire, and not just take it away but hold it right there, so that we can have a better society. Please do well to follow us if you may. You can always find us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. Thank you for watching and have yourself a splendid Friday. Bye-bye.